All right, how's everybody doing out there? This is Carlton Flowers, the Crypto Pro, coming at you with a DENT update. It has been a long time since I've done a DENT update, and I wanted to talk about why it has been so long, and then what we're going to expect to see in the future, what we'd like to see, and then what the possibilities are on the cautious, safe, negative end. So let's just get straight into it. First of all, we are on TradingView, and this is the DENT USDT Tether data. The reason why I haven't done an update in such a long time is because TradingView has deleted the data set that I was using. I was tracking DENT on the DENT/US dollar computed by TradingView symbol. And unfortunately, about a month ago, they deleted that data set. So it is no longer on here. When you go to here, let me just show you on the actual screen here. We'll go to DENT. Let me move myself out of the way here and try that again. Let's go to DENT. And here it is, US dollar calculated by TradingView. Let's watch what happens here. Invalid symbol. The data is gone. I don't know what happened, what they did with that data, or why it got mopped, but unfortunately, there is no other website besides TradingView that I could get these technical indicators on that I was using to track DENT. So we are now going to have to track DENT/Tether US. This only goes back to the beginning of September. That's the sad fact of it, where the US dollar version of the DENT data set went all the way back to the beginning, and it had the 2017 bull run in it. And that's where I had my pitchfork indicated on the chart that was in the last updates that I did, that was in an overall channel that included this downslide right here. So we're not going to be able to look at that anymore on the macro. We're going to have to look at the micro, starting with this data in early October. So kind of sad, but we'll just have to do what we have to do. This is on the 1-day chart, and as we can see, we've got two nice green bars. I've decided to construct this pitchfork set that starts in the beginning of October based on the bottom of the big first red candle during this dive, and then based on this low point beneath that and the high point after. So we have this nice little trading channel that marks a micro uptrend. Notice I said micro. This is not a macro. In the macro, we are still on the downward slope. So all we can do is analyze this on the micro given the data that is in front of us. You'll also notice that I have a Fib Circle Set here that is based on the parameters of September 30th through October the 11th. And the reason why I've chosen this range is because there are several points of confluence that coincide with these rings. That means that it will help us to predict where DENT is going from this point. So looking at this Fib Circle Set on the 1 day, we see that we were sticking to the line here. We took a dive down here at the 4.236. We definitely took a dive jumping down from the 3.618 to the 2.618, and then we went sideways to the 1 line, and then we jumped right back to the 1 line there. You get the point. We took the dive here, and now we're coming upward. So this means that this Fib Circle Set is hot. In other words, it might predict future movements or pivot points. Now, past performance is not always indicative of future results, so keep that in mind. All right, so with the pitchfork formation, we notice that the price has come back to this center line, which is kind of nice. But moving from the bottom of the channel back up to this center line only happened because of the big Bitcoin pump. And what we are thinking is that the Bitcoin pump today on the 25th of October was a result of the news that President Xi in China said that they want to be on the forefront of blockchain technology and a complete push for complete adoption of blockchain technology. And so we saw Bitcoin just burst from about 7,400 to 10,500, which coincides with this movement. Now that tells me that we're probably going to give some of this back. So I would expect a movement back down here to the bottom of this channel, but hopefully we could hold this slope and not break through. So if we do stay within this channel, bouncing up and down, I'd sure like to see it pass through the middle point of that line. We could call this early accumulation leading up to maybe a consolidation, but this would have to carry on for the next couple of months. If we violate the bottom of this line, then I don't think there's much that we can say about a big movement that is coming up for DENT. All right, so let's clear all that. Let's zoom in now to the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart. And we'll just focus on this parallel trading channel that is outlined by the pitchfork formation and look at some of the action on these Fib circle boundaries. Notice how we crawled up this line, then we jumped over to the next one, we took a dive, and now we're crawling up again. So jumping back in with my indicators here, I think that we could either come down to the secondary line below the center line where we cross, I think this is the 4.236, that's the next Fib circle boundary that is in play, or we could hit the crossing of the bottom of the pitchfork formation and the 4.236 line. After that happens, we would hope that it crawls up this line and makes it back to that center point. So there's no real way to tell. Now, let's zoom out and maybe discuss what long-term things could be happening for DENT. Let's just squish this down. And again, I apologize that we really don't have enough data to make a very educated, guess about this. So let's take this all the way to where we see 2020 and first quarter, and January is within the sights there. Now, let's give the positive scenario first, and then we'll give a negative scenario after that. If this is an accumulation period, then I would expect that we would stay within this channel. That's what I would want to see. It would be nice if we did this until the next bull market hits. And then we could expect a breakout out of this channel, and that would tell us we are in a bull market for sure. That is the most glowing positive way to look at this. Now, notice that the price here tops out on the chart at 0.005. Someone was asking me, will it go beyond the previous all-time high in the next bull market? I don't know. I mean, considering the fact that the majority of alts die in the long term, it depends on if DENT continues. It does have a good use case, but even if they continue the service of providing the tokens for the phones, if they get rid of the cryptocurrency as the backbone of the trade for those tokens, or if it's not directly involved, if they can do that without the cryptocurrency, then this will fail. It'll go by the wayside. But if it does keep a good use case and people are still trading and it's on healthy volume that we see right now, anything's possible. So let's say, how does it get to the all-time high again? Well, it would have to keep its use case. The volume would have to be there. We would have to see continued development and more users of the product, and then Bitcoin hitting its next massive bull run. So if in a perfect scenario and DENT survives throughout the rest of this bear market and into the next accumulation and consolidation phase, sure, it could blow past that all-time high from last time. What was it, 8 cents, 10 cents? It could go beyond, but that is the most positive, glowing side of the prediction for the future. Now let's talk about what could happen on the negative side. So on the negative, let's say we're bouncing around in here, and then all of a sudden we violate the bottom of this trading channel. If that happens, then this could mean the slow death of this project. So I'm really looking for this to be a base, because if it's not, we're not done correcting, and there's not much more correcting you can do, because look at this, 0.0001. That would be where we are headed. We're already at 0.002 of a cent. It's not a lot. So that's not very positive. The middle of the road scenario is maybe they have positive development going on and we just bounce around in this area and we carry this all the way through early 2020 and then maybe start a slow, arduous process of the price going up. So yeah, this is a long shot. Yeah, it might be a 1 in 1,000, but hey, people play the lottery with 1 in 10 million odds because they want the big win. And so this is at least better odds than playing the lottery. I would probably blow $50 on this before I would do a scratcher's ticket with the lottery, because hey, you've got better chances here. There's at least something that's we've got a little bit of evidence of where this can go. Now let me see if I can even scrunch this chart up enough to show you the scale. I can't even get it on here. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to get 10 cents on this right side, and there's 10 cents. So here's what that previous all-time high looked like. It was about right here. So we basically did this. There's your historic data that took us down to here. Now, here we are in this little, this is how small this little channel is that I just drew. So you can see why you shouldn't really get that excited that we're in an uptick, a nice positive slope for this little piece when this is what happened before. But it's a start. So that is just about all I can say for now, and we'll keep our eyes on the future action. And the minute we get, if there is a change in this trading channel, let's say we pivot and we move here. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's say this is the channel in right now. Let's say that's a circle. Let's get rid of that. I meant to have a line here. Let's say the new channel does something like this. Okay, what happens here, this does provide an opportunity where I can get a new Fib Circle set, and then let's say we get another channel that comes out of this one. Each time we have a change and a pivot, whenever you have a pivot point like that, like this would be a pivot point here. This would be a pivot point here, okay? And each time you go to a pivot point, that's where I construct the new Fib Circle set. So it would be nice that if we broke down through this, I'd be able to construct the next set and be able to tell where some possible pivot points are coming. By the way, this just presented a third scenario. So if we took a dive and then jumped out of it, that's a recovery scenario. So we'll see what happens. That is my update. If you have any information on the DENT project, or if you actually work for DENT and you would like to post in the comments about what's happening on the company's end, please fill us in. We would all like to know. And then stay tuned for my updates on TradingView. If I come up with anything new, I'll post it there first, and then I'll create a video. So like and subscribe if you want to see more of this, and if you have any other requests for altcoins that you would like to do, see me do some technical analysis on, feel free to ask, and I'll see if I can squeeze that in. So that's about all I have for now. This is Carlton Flowers, your Crypto Pro. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon next time.